Cause so I think it will blow your mind, the video, but after the podcast. Cause
Control is one of the most interesting ever.
Control.
Control, like, you know, everyone wants that. Everyone wants power over something, you know, in the end. Like,
well, speaking about control, recently, Canada Bread plead guilty to price fixing bread.
Canada?
A bakery company called Canada Bread.
Okay.
They plead guilty to price fixing bread, meaning like they control prices of bread, and they agreed to pay $50 million fine.
Only to the government, though. We don't get any benefit, even.
Right. It's a fine. It's a ticket to
all the big chain grocery stores. They were like colluded on it and stuff. Then Loblaws was the whistleblower.
And this whole investigation started in 2016 with the competition bureau. And when they started the investigation, like you said, Loblaws was a whistleblower. They admitted that they were involved in the industry-wide price-fixing scandal with bread.
Took them 5 years, scumbags.
Yeah. And they
made their money.
They pretty much snitched on other people that were involved, and they gained legal immunity.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and after they found that the competition bureau found that out, they decided to do surprise raids to big grocery stores like Giant Tigers, Walmart, Sobeys, Metro, and Loblaws. Look at this. That search warrants, they came in like fully armed with a locksmith. Some of the companies that got raided, they deleted files, and the government whoever was investigating, like the authorities, they were able to obtain those deleted files. Yeah. And they're able to figure out they have emails with CEOs and people who work for different, because pretty much what happened is that big grocery chains, they collaborated with each other when they were competitors. So it's a weird situation where competitors are joining in together to control the price of bread. You know.
The only thing I heard about this, I was in the radio.
Yeah.
I was in my car listening to the radio and stuff. And I just heard them talking about it. I was like, damn. We're beefing over the price of bread, you know?
Bread? Everyone eats bread, though, if you think about it.
It's like, you know, it's crazy how, like, this causes, like, a whole-ass lawsuit over bread.
Right.
Big corporations.
And they got raided, like a surprise raid.
It's like, yo, they're letting fucking SWAT... We're wasting our money on SWAT teams over the price of bread.
Over on grocery chains.
It's like, yo, what are we doing as a human race?
But bread is big, bro.
About it.
Bread is big, man.
Because back in November, Jagmeet Singh is a... NDP politician in
he's the leader now
in Canada. Yeah, he's the leader of the NDP party, and he called out the grocery chains, and he wanted to have an investigation on why there's been high increases in prices, and he's saying that there's more to the story than.
I heard about that.
He's saying that there's more to the story than inflation. He's calling it greedflation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like realistically, how much does it cost to make like a loaf of bread? Like we've been that's why bread is like something that every culture eats.
The problem is that though we're thinking about the prices that we pay for the flour, we pay for all that. Imagine how cheap they get it
because of the mass production.
Probably like 30-40%
wholesale price.
I mean, they make
economies of scale. Is what it is.
It's like, yo, I was at Costco and like, yo, my dad bought like 8 pounds worth of fries for $9. You go to McDonald's to get the same amount of fucking fries, they'll charge you like $4 for like
but you're paying for a commodity. You're paying for convenience.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm just saying it's crazy. Like you gotta think like it's convenient to be able to go to a grocery store and get some bread. You know,
bread is like bread has been like
it's straight up a commodity.
Bro, people think of bread as like the foundation of modern civilization. Though it's like when we started making bread, we started settling. That's the thing.
Like the whole reason why we're so important, why we think money has such a value, it's because, you know, we can't even go out and go kill animals and stuff, you know, to go eat our own food and stuff. We have to rely on big corporations to kill them for us so that we could go buy food from them.
That goes back to the doomsday prepping thing, though.
It's fucking horrifying if you think about it. The whole reason why we value money is because we can't accomplish our innate, like, evolutionary things because we have to use money to go get them because it's illegal to go out and go fucking find a bear and stab it and cook it.
Like, I have a serious question for both of you. If you're in a survival situation, do you have like the guts to kill a deer? Like you have to gut it, like
I mean, if us three were stranded on an island and we've been starving for a week, fuck yeah, our whole mindset would change.
The instinct, the animal instinct.
Our survival instincts. Ever heard about this movie? They made a movie about this football team flying out to another country to play football,
Where they got
and they crashed.
The Andes crash.
Yes, and they crashed, and to put it short, they ate each other. They ate the dead to survive.
One guy ate his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
They didn't kill each other though. I don't
Society,
think.
it's like made to not make you like rely on those evolutionary tactics and shit. You know, like, they try and take advantage of that shit. But I think everyone could be bribed to do something in the end. You know, if you're desperate enough for it, you know, you want to fucking live, you're gonna do what you gotta do. You're gonna go eat someone else if that's what it takes to live.
Dude, that crash in the Andes with the soccer team was crazy. Like they were in perfect conditions because like it was freezing cold. So that's a natural preserver of the human flesh. I guess.
It's crazy to think about.
There's a movie about it. There's a good movie about that.
Yeah, it's I forgot what it's called, but it was a
true
really
story.
It's a true story. It's a really good movie.
I absolutely believe it, man.
Oh no, it happened. It happened. It's actually fucked. Where is the Andes in like South America?
In South America, Chile.
Yeah, okay.
Chile.
Like, you know, another thing, like so many people talk about how like society is like so fucking gloomy and dark and shit, and everyone's trying to take advantage of us. But it's like, if you think about it, if my biggest fucking problem in life is that Lawboss is fixing the price of bread, I'm living a pretty fucking good life if you think about it, you know? If that's my biggest problem in my life is that bread is going too high.
I'm pretty good, yeah.
I see.
Pretty fucking good life.
I see where he's seeing it from, but like, think about it, the bread is just the start.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what
like,
you have to think about it like
bigger
that.
Things too,
Yeah.
What if there's more? What if there's a whole bunch of things
that
are being...
I'm sure everything is like
yeah,
this.
for sure.
It's like basic. It's like a basic criminal, like just human mind. Like, oh my god, I got away with this Kit Kat bar at Dollarama. What else can I get away with? And then
that's it.
And the reason why these price increases are a big deal because they're anti-competitive practices. Like it goes against laws with monopolies. We have laws against monopolies. That's why they're paying a big fine, but to them it's not really big. I mean, it's like 50 million.
You work for
it's just a slap on the wrist.
The 50 mil though.
Yeah.
I'm saying though, like you work for a big fucking company, man. That'll show you how fucking worthless you are as a human.
A big corporation, like Amazon.
You work for like Amazon. Yeah. You realize you're just a fucking dog to them. They just want fucking control.
Like a cog in a machine.
Yeah, you're literally just a cog in the machine. You fuck up, you get replaced by someone else. You know.
That's a mindless job.
It makes you realize how fucking worthless you are to them in the end, you know? If you ever want to feel fucking worthless, man, go do a job at Amazon or FedEx, man.
Fuck no.
I like FedEx.
I do like FedEx, but I'm not gonna lie, working for like family companies, like I just got hired at a flower delivery.
Way better.
I just got hired at a flower delivery company because I got fired from FedEx and shit. And like, it made me realize like, how much of a fucking dog I was for FedEx, you know? I'm out here doing like 90 fucking delivery stops a day, working my ass off and shit. Then I get a job at this family company, you know, where like their main goal is like, to fucking give a good service and shit.
Dude, speaking of FedEx, like you're talking about that. Like in my contract, when we had our contract, I read it. It was like we carry a maximum of 40 pounds. So like I could refuse any package on the belt, right? Yeah. Bro, I had like a fucking 70-pound AC I had to bring. I brought it, but like I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And you could refuse that.
Yeah, because bro, our position at FedEx, we don't get the same benefits as the actual like good workers. We don't get insurance. I don't think we qualify for if we get injured at work. It's actually pretty crazy. I'm not trying to whistle blow here.
And honestly, like you got the one thing I realized, man. Secret to being happy in life, man.
Smoking weed.
Invest in my company.
That whole thing.
Invest in my NFT.
NFT, dude, it's so, bro.
Buy a picture of a monkey, guys.
Dude, if you have a social media influence, you could become rich, even richer like that by a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and I think TikTok it's like, it's like kind of like currency, social medias. I think having 1 million followers on TikTok is less valuable than 1 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Because
I know people in real life who like, they're not famous, but they'll have like 8,000 followers on Instagram, then like 400,000 on TikTok. But they're fucking nobodies. Yeah. When I walk around at Concordia and I see them, it's like I don't look at them as anything more special, Maybe they have this inflated ego and shit. Like I know a couple girls at Concordia that I'm friends with, and they have like 500,000, 600,000 TikTok followers.
That's all followers.
Like one of my friends, she literally she live streams herself doing her hair on TikTok.
Oh fuck!
And she gets paid like $30 an hour to do it.
My God,
it's actually horrifying.
Like if you do stuff like that and you have a lot of followers, it's not very admirable.
And the only reason why it's so popular is because there's so many people. They just fucking spend time. They don't even go outside their house, There's people like us, we have lives. We go outside our house. We go buy.
Do we have lives?
No.
Compared to some other people, man, they just fucking sit in their parents' basement all fucking day.
Hey.
Fuck
behind
yeah.
Share, on Discord,
you
on social
do you.
media, 12 hours, 16 hours a day.
Well, you live in the basement?
No.
Okay.
I do live in my mom's basement.
Well, I know who you remind me of.
Ooh.
Mark Norman
Who the hell is that?
is a comedian.
Who's that?
Shit.
American comedian. He's one of my favorite comedians. He's so funny. But
I take it as a compliment.
you're not funny, but
Oh.
I'm just kidding. But you look like him. You look like him, and you sound like him. Like the way you talk. Like you both have a deep voice and like
Breaker.
blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
my persona.
Yeah.
No, joking.
But yeah,
That's funny, man.
you watch a lot of comedy.
I used to, honestly. Like,
I watched this show called Kill Tony. It's so funny.
I like Impractical Jokers.
Impractical
That's
Jokers.
fake.
Sounds fucking
that's been
hilarious.
exposed.
Yeah, for sure.
Paid actors. Like,
Everything's fake.
yeah.
Your mom's fake.
This whole, like, reality we're in is fake.
Yeah, it's all 3D projection.
The Truman Show. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
That's a fucking weird
I
movie.
never watched it.
It's a weird movie.
It's Jim Carrey.
Yeah. It's a guy who's like been born on a TV set and he's being constantly recorded, but he thinks the TV set is his reality, but
Yeah.
everyone's playing an actor
He
in his
think
life.
it's real life, but everyone else is just an actor inside this.
Oh.
And he's being broadcasted.
It's a 24-hour show where the whole world outside of this fake reality is watching Truman, which is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He's an actor from
Yeah.
birth on the set to that world. Like
The set is inside like a big dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big ass dome, and everyone inside it is an actor except Truman, because Truman
Yeah.
thinks that the movie, the
just
show is the real life. Is this real life?
That's like an LSD trip. Whoever thought of that script.
Yeah.
Like you're living.
Dude, that's
Everyone's an
fucking
actor.
Yeah, and you ever wonder like who around me, you know, like, people that you've been friends with, you know, maybe when you were
We
kids.
got 'em.
Like,
As a
people
kid,
like that.
I always questioned that, because you gotta think about like
Who's real? and
like
who's
you
fake?
know that you're conscious, but you don't know that everyone else is conscious. Like you have no way of knowing that you're not a robot or some shit, you know?
Honestly, when driving, I just think everyone's a retard.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No. Sometimes I think I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. Like you thought that was a good idea to do, you know? Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like
Psychology is a fucking interesting ass field to go into.
Yeah,
Like, the
it's
stuff that you-
interesting because it's almost as if
it's
we're
undefined,
learning about ourselves.
but it's always gonna be undefined. Like you'll
Right,
never
because we're
really
still
know.
learning about it. It's still a big mystery, because like think about the fact that we don't really know how the brain functions.
I say we have a pretty good concept of it.
Yeah, we have a pretty good concept, but we don't understand it entirely.
Yeah, I mean,
Like there's some big questions about it. Like
so we could have like a whole ass computer simulation of it. We don't completely understand.
I feel like if we end up producing artificial intelligence, like a life form that's been created by us, I think we'll have a pretty good understanding of how humans work.
I mean, they understand how humans act, but they don't understand
Right.
how they work.
Like
you
we're
know?
becoming the creators of our religion, like kind of like, you know how like people believe in that. Like if we create artificial intelligence and consciousness, do we become the creators? Are we God?
A creator to a life form, not
A
like
life form? Like yeah, but we're the creators. Like God is in any religion, God is the creator of the reality of your world.
I mean, I guess so. We're a god to a life form, not
Yeah.
God in general.
But we're acting as a god, so it's
Right,
like,
yeah, I
does
guess
that bring
so.
like the religion debate
I'm
on?
gonna have to ask you guys a question before we go into the debates on religion. Do you guys believe in any religion or gods? Because I don't. I'm an atheist.
I'm agnostic about that stuff. Like
Yeah, I'm more agnostic.
I don't believe in God particularly,
Yeah.
but I do
A
believe
creator,
in a creator. Yes, like I don't believe that there's a guy in a
a
robe.
divine person
I don't believe there's a guy in a robe in a
Yeah,
cloud
for
watching over us. I don't
with
really.
50 virgins waiting.
Who knows? Maybe that is happening, but I don't believe that. I think like energy is God.
My problem with religion is
I'm not gonna lie. I fuck with that opinion.
Yeah, because energy is everything,
Yeah.
and energy never dies according to thermodynamics.
It's only transferred.
Right.
It's never truly.
So a lot of
energy is constant, ladies and gentlemen.
a lot of spiritual gurus like to make that comparison,
Yeah.
like trying to explain that life is eternal by saying that energy doesn't die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy never
If you want to
dies.
compare it to an actual religion or energy, you would think of like reincarnation, because if you think about like what human beings are made of, or like dying, like that the death of stars, like we're made of hydrogen atoms, the helium atoms, like the way that like our solar system is made is from like you know what a nebula is. It's a cluster of star, like star death of a star,
exploding stars,
but it's the creator of another life.
Yeah,
if you think about it, when a star dies, that's a new
it's order out of destruction, order out of chaos.
It's like a natural selection for the universe.
I think that's kind of what like the equivalent of like animals turning into like plastic and shit is. You know, it's like it turns into
reproduction.
Animals turning to plastic.
Well, yeah,
yeah, oil.
Dinosaurs, oil and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But, like even like you think of the whole way that like we get our food and stuff, like, you know, like plants, water, we eat an animal that eats that plant, you know, then eventually we fucking die.
It's weird.
And an animal will eat us, or like, you know, bacteria will eat us.
The universe, even off of Earth, is a recycler.
What?
It's a recycler.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
A star will die, right? They will either, depending on its mass and how big it is, it will either supernova, neutron star, or it just fuck. What else happens? Neutron star or black hole. Super like stars with an insane mass will become a black hole, whatever. But it recycles itself because that star explodes. It takes out its solar system, or whatever planets were orbiting it, and that stardust will form again because of gravity, because it will form another like densely packed star. Or that's like the theory of how stars are formed. Like all that matter will form again. Like stars are formed off of like massive amounts of pressure. Like if you look at Jupiter, it's like being underwater at the Titanic level. Like if you were to stand there, the pressures on Jupiter would kill you instantly.
Speaking of the Titanic.
Oh, fuck.
Was that segue purposeful?
I was invested in it.
What do you mean?
I was like, it would have been a crazy rescue operation, but I knew in my mind, like after listening to the experts, it definitely imploded.
0%
I mean, if you look at how the submarine was built and the very process of everything, it seems like there was a lot of fuckery involved. Because
I was reading all about it.
A lot of experts has warned OceanGate not to do this, or people will die. They're warned multiple times, and it's fucking crazy how the submarine's controlled by a fucking game controller.
It's pretty accurate though. Like I know people are shitting on it, but like, yo,
it is a pretty good method to control it. But
if you think of a plane yoke, plane yokes have a joystick. Airbuses are controlled by a joystick.
That's not the problem though. The problem is that they cheaped out so hard.
Yeah.
They didn't want to like get like
I wouldn't say cheaped out.
They didn't want to get
carbon fiber is expensive.
Yeah, but they didn't want to get like some military level like controller, you know, to like control like a fucking plane or something. You know, they were just like, nah, let's just buy it on Amazon. You gotta wonder how many other things they were like, yeah, let's just buy this, even though it's not specifically made for a submarine. Like my daddy works in the aerospace industry and stuff, you know, and like safety and everything. It's like, you know, you could buy a boat for a plane.
Planes are pressurized.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, let's say you want to buy a fucking screw for a plane. You could get that screw at Home Depot. It'll cost you $1. But if you want to get one that's aircraft certified, that's been developed with that plane in mind, it's 10 times the price.
Galvanized.
And that's the issue. It's like, for that submarine, they probably should have made a controller that was made to control that specific submarine.
Dude, that's not... The controller had nothing to do with them dying.
That's not what it is.
No way.
It shows you the whole mindset behind the entire thing. It's like, you know how we were talking about with that whole bread price fixing thing? How it's just a sign about how every single other thing is probably like that? Even with that fucking submarine, with that fucking controller, you gotta wonder where else they skimped out on that boat.
Everything else, bro. Like the whole operation was run by people who didn't know what they were doing.
They had a Silicon Valley take on it.
Like, dude, I was reading about it yesterday on Wikipedia and shit. They bought that little glass screen that they used. It was only certified for 1,200 pound squares per inch of like pressure on it, 1,200 psi. And at the depth they were trying to go to in the Titanic, they were trying to go to a place that was 6,000 psi.
Oh my god!
And the thing is, most like glass screens, you know, like most things that you buy, if it says it's certified for 1,200 psi, usually there's like a nice like 2 or 3 times that it could handle.
Yeah, really.
And it was able to handle it for a couple of rides. It did have a couple of successful rides, the Titan, but
also the shell of the submarine is kind of questionable. Like when I was reading about it, U.S. grade Navy subs, they don't go to that depth. But they're made they were talking about debating because titanium is a very strong like metal, right? And the Titan was made out of titanium and carbon fiber. But the problem with titanium is in like submersibles, it could take the pressure going up like down once and then coming up once, but it's not meant for repeated use. Yeah, that's why steel and iron is always going to be the more.
It gets weaker over time.
Yeah, steel and iron doesn't degrade over time like that, but titanium is like it puts a lot of stress on the hull.
It was like a very experimental submarine.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it was able to work the first couple times, but everyone, you know, even people at the company, everyone knew that was failing, but like they'd file lawsuits against people who were trying to whistleblow that.
One of the workers, any cheaters of the workers.
It wasn't gonna be good. It's like obviously, like, you know, they're trying to use a screen that's certified for 1200 psi. Like
the window, that was the whole whistleblower thing.
The window. And it just makes you question, like, how many other things did they skimp out on? Like, I even saw a picture of the interior of the submarine where all the batteries are on. It's on, like, a fucking 2-inch piece of plywood. No airplane, no spacecraft, no other submarine has ever had that. Or, like, no shit, that thing was bound to fail.
Or a fucking controller. Yeah. No fucking submarine has that. I don't know why
you guys are hating on the controller so much.
That seems ridiculous.
But that's the thing. It's like, you have to wonder how many other things
were the
equivalent of
metaphor.
That controller, instead of them making, like, a specific thing for it, you know? A NASA thing would not use that. I
think it's for simplicity because they wanted the people to drive it.
They were trying to save money on it. That's what it is. You can make a simple controller.
You gotta respect the ambition.
Bro, that's why I said it. It was a Silicon Valley take on the submersible. Yeah, Silicon Valley always tries innovating with bullshit, and that's what they did.
No, the thing is, it's not even Silicon Valley. It's like
that's what their take was on it.
They're cheaping out on everything and they're not making their own parts. Like I'm telling you, like I was saying, you could go buy a fucking screw at Rental Depot for $1 that they use in the aircraft.
And then it's not certified.
It's the equivalent with the fucking controller, man. You could buy a $30 controller, or you could develop your own for $400,000 that'll fucking work perfectly with it.
But like going underwater is like going to another planet. Like it's literally the best way to describe it, bro. The pressure.
It'll probably work, that controller, but you have to question every single other part in there. What other parts are a controller?
You know,